When I first moved to California, I learned that you could take pretty much anything, wrap it in a tortilla, and call it a burrito. It gave me the idea to make a series of recipes called Burritos from Around the World. Our first stop on our Burritos from Around the World tour is going to be New Mexico, home of the Hatch Green Chili. These bean, potato, and hatch green chili burritos are super flavorful, but they are also a really easy vegan recipe and a wonderful vegan meal prep. Welcome to Kat's Vegan Kitchen. Remember to always check the description below for helpful links and tips. Let's get started. First up, we're gonna make our potatoes. I'm gonna bake our potatoes in the oven in an oven-safe dish. You want your oven to be between 400 and 425 degrees. I'm going to use about 1.5 pounds of potatoes. That's about 4 to 6 medium-sized potatoes or about 8 to 10 small potatoes. I like yellowfin potatoes because they have a nicer flavor than russets. We want to chop our potatoes into tiny bite-sized pieces about 1/4 inch big. I always leave the skins on my potatoes because they add more nutrients to your recipe. Baking our potatoes in an oven-safe dish makes it super easy to prep the other ingredients while our potatoes are baking. Once your potatoes are in your oven-safe dish, add a tablespoon of olive oil, salt them, toss them, salt them again, and toss them again. We're gonna pop our potatoes into our 400-degree oven and let them cook for about 20 minutes or until a fork goes through without resistance while we prep our other ingredients. The star of this show is Hatch Green Chilies, which are grown in Hatch, New Mexico. This is what is going to give our beans the really exceptional, delicious flavor. So you really should not substitute these chilies for a different chili. If you are not lucky enough to live in an area where they roast Hatch chilies, you can order them online, and I will link my favorite brand in the description below. You want to make sure to get Hatch brand green chilies because if you skimp, the flavor just will not be as good. When you chop up your chilies, you want to remove the stems and seeds. An easy way to remove the seeds is to cut them in half and then just dip them in water. Chop your chilies up really fine. Pro tip, when you're dealing with hot green chilies, do not touch your face or eyes. Make sure you wash your hands. You might even want to wear gloves. Next, we're gonna make up our refried beans. I'm gonna use canned beans because it's really easy and I'm gonna make them super flavorful. But if you wanna make your beans from scratch, you can do that. It will save you a little bit of money. You would just soak your pinto beans overnight for about 8 hours, rinse them very well, and then cook them for about an hour or two. And then you pick up the recipe right here where I'm going to start. To make up our beans, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of avocado oil or another high smoke point oil to a saute pan over medium-low heat. We're going to add in 1 cup of diced onion and our diced green chilies. We're using about 1/8 cup of diced green chilies. I'm using hot green chilies because I love heat, but these chilies, when they say hot, they mean it. They are very hot. So make sure you use mild if you don't like heat and medium if you're not sure. Once your onion is nice and translucent, you're going to add in 3 cloves of chopped garlic, 1 cup of a high quality vegan chicken broth, a teaspoon of fresh oregano or 1/2 teaspoon of dried oregano, 2 cans of well-rinsed pinto beans, 1 bay leaf, and 1/2 cup of additional water. We're going to cover our beans. We're going to bring them to a boil. Once they're boiling, we're going to lower the heat and let them simmer for 20 minutes. You guys, the secret to really tasty vegan food is using the best ingredients you can find. So when I say to use a high quality vegan chicken broth, it's because that chicken broth is going to be the base of the flavor for our beans. I really love the Better Than Bouillon broths. I think they have the best flavor of all the vegan broths. If you can't find these in your area, I'll add a link in the description below so you can buy them online. After your beans have been simmering for about 15 or 20 minutes, they'll start to get soft. Remove the bay leaf carefully and then start mashing your beans up with a potato masher, a pestle, or even the back of a fork. If you're in a rush, you can always use canned refried beans and season them with the onion and chili pepper, but making your own from scratch really takes this recipe to the next level. Once your beans are nice and mashed up, salt and pepper them to taste. Turn the heat down and we're ready to roll up our burritos. Now, I wouldn't say this is one of my super easy recipes, but it is time efficient because we are going to roll up burritos and freeze them and have them for the rest of the week or the month, depending on how many we roll. We're going to take a scoop of refried beans, a scoop of potatoes, a dash of our favorite vegan cheese. Make sure you warm your tortilla before you roll it because it will make it easier for you to roll it. Turn the sides in, roll her up. Now watch how I do this. This is a piece of parchment paper. Roll it up, fold the ends in. Then I'm going to wrap it in aluminum foil. And now I have my burritos ready to go in the freezer for whenever I need a really fast breakfast, lunch, or dinner. If you want to heat these up in the microwave, it's super easy. You just take the aluminum foil off and just heat them up in the parchment paper. If you want to heat them in the oven, you can just put them in just like this. Of course, I'm not going to wrap up all my burritos for later. I'm going to eat one for dinner. I love to pair this with a side of chips and guacamole. You can check out my Lazy Girl guacamole recipe. I also love to pair it with Mexican rice, and you can check out that recipe as well. Thanks for watching. If you love this recipe, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe so you never miss a recipe. And I hope to see you next time on Kat's Vegan Kitchen.